Playoff position in the Eastern Conference, sitting just a game ahead of the Orlando Magic. A half game ahead of the Orlando Magic. So these kind of things can change from day to day. That's 6 through 10 of the current Eastern Conference picture. But our Jared Greenberg, as I mentioned earlier, is reporting from Boston, and he spoke to Dwyane Wade.
So back in Boston, is this kind of farewell tour and being here in Boston, is there any weirdness for you being here with that?
I don't know if there's any weirdness for Nestor. I definitely, the first time we came back in the beginning of the year, I definitely didn't expect the ovation that I got when I got in the game. So that was pretty cool. You know, when you compete against certain franchises and you guys have battles in the playoffs and, you know, things of that nature, you don't know how the reception is going to be. But reception was great last time. And, you know, I don't know what to expect tonight, but, you know, for my team, you know, we're trying to come here and play well. But, you know, fans around the NBA has just been great to me all year anyway.
When you first announced that you were going to make this your last year, versus what it's been like now with only a week left basically in the season, how has that changed your expectations of what this would be like?
You know, I kind of asked my fans to just go on this last dance with me, you know, and it's been way more than I could have imagined, you know. I definitely know I wanted to say goodbye, you know, and I wanted to have the fans get an opportunity to do the same thing, and I wanted to say thank you as well. But the ovation and the reception I've been getting from city to city, you know, it's not something that I would have written down for myself at the end of my career, that I would have been able to have this moment. So when I'm going through this moment in the times where it's been, you know, tougher and there's been a lot of things to do, I just try to think about the great ones that didn't have the opportunity to call, you know, their out or to go through this. So I'm enjoying it for not only myself but for so many others.
Has there ever been even the sliver of a moment where you're like, I could do this for another year?
I know I can. It's never been a moment where I didn't think I could. I know I could do it for another year, another 2 years. I know I can. The role that I'm in, obviously this organization, I can play this role for a few more years. It wasn't about that for me. You know, just more so about me, you know, looking at the overall, you know, picture and overall of my career, where I'm at now, where I'm at in my life, my personal life, just everything. And when I looked at it, I said, you know what, this is time for me, you know, to walk away from the game. You know, eventually they're going to put me out, so let me get out before they put me out.
All right, last thing I want to ask you here is just about this playoff run now. With all that's going on with you, how do you balance getting this team on a nightly basis to focus where every single game matters?
Well, you know, our president, you know, our Coach Riley, when I came in, he always told me, keep the main thing the main thing. And at the end of the day, you know, whatever goes on outside of here, that's cool and that's great, and you can do those things, but make sure the main thing is the main thing, and that's this basketball game. That's preparing this team, you know, to try to get us in the playoffs. And so I have no problem, you know, myself and the leaders on this team, we're trying to help, you know, these young guys focus, you know, from night to night. And it's been obviously, you know, this uneven battle all year. But we're here now. We're in this battle with 6 games left. We control our own destiny. So, you know, for me, this is a great time.
What's the balance? What's the difference between joy and disappointment if you make the playoffs in your last year versus the disappointment in going out?
I don't know. I have no idea. This is definitely the only opportunity. This is the only out last year that I think I will have anyway. But you know, my goal is focus on the playoffs, and you know, I'm not thinking about not making it. I haven't thought about it coming into this whole year. I've just been thinking about what can I do to help this team get to that playoffs, to get the young guys more experience. You know, this organization doesn't, you know, we play for these moments. Whether we got the team that people think we should, you know, play, you know, take a step backwards or not, but we continue to play for playoff moments, and hopefully we get an opportunity to do it.
Dwyane, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And Dwyane has been honored all season long by fans and franchises, and the Celtics franchise chose to present him with a plaque that includes some of his top moments at the TD Garden, and even, look at that, a piece of the 2008 parquet floor, the championship season. Pretty cool. I've got to point out, though, this, of course, the final regular season game at TD Garden. Dwyane could very likely be there a couple of weeks from now, perhaps a couple of weeks after that, because this, Griff, by all means, is a Heat team that has exceeded expectations this season.
Danny's no fool. Take care of Dwyane now. Keep him on your side. Be nice.
Smart.
You're the best, Dwyane. You're the best. You know, it's funny, actually. So since February 27th, Miami's 12-5. They're 4th in the NBA in wins in that span. Dwyane's been outstanding. He has not been a guy on a retirement march. He's averaging 27.9 points per 100 possessions in that span. That's ridiculous off your bench. to have a first ballot Hall of Famer doing that. And by the way, he's shooting 39% in that span, radically better than his career number. He's playing some of the best basketball he's played. So I love that in that interview with Jared, he says, I know I can play. Well, yeah, he can.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that we're getting to see him go out in this fashion. It would be fantastic for him to go out in the playoffs. And ironically, one of the young kids, Bam Adebayo, is going to be a big part of the reason why. Because in that same period of time where Dwyane's averaging almost 28 points a game, Bam is averaging, I want to get this right, 20 points, 16 rebounds, 6.3 assists, a steal and a half and a block and a half per 100 possessions. He has been dominant for that team. And this is what they really need from him. And I think Coach Spoelstra, if you go through a list of all the teams that might have a playoff coach, he gets the least amount of shine relative to how good he really is. You saw him in that video we had talking about we're about the sum of our parts. This is a great basketball coach, and he's doing great work with this group.
Then if you think about Dwyane's storied career, undoubtedly a Hall of Fame career, what do you think is the most important lesson that he could relate to these young guys if they are able to make a playoff run?
Well, I think, first of all, to appreciate every one of these moments, right? One of the things that you never see this Miami team do, very similar to what the Clippers have been building the last few years, you don't see them take games off. They don't walk into a game taking anyone for granted. And I think a big part of that is because Dwyane is who he is. Udonis Haslem is who he is. They've got pillars in that locker room of leadership. We talked about the Boston situation. It's not just who your star name leader is. It's who are those other role player veterans in your locker room that calibrate the message all the time. Miami has that around Dwyane.